Is undoubtedly a huge moment, but what kind of moment? Is it the first day of the rest of his life, or is it just the next day of the same one? Day 1 of a new focused presidency, or day 40 of the Trump presidency? Just a few moments ago, the president handed out some grades for his first month in office in what might be a distinctly un-Trumpian twist. He didn't give himself all perfect scores.
Now, in terms of achievement, I think I'd give myself an A, because I think I've done great things, but I don't think I and my people, I don't think we've explained it well enough to the American public. I think I get an A in terms of what I've actually done, but in terms of messaging, I'd give myself a C or a C+.
How are you going to change that then?
Well, maybe I change it during the speech.
Maybe he changes it tonight during the speech. Will he? Let's bring in CNN's Joe Johns. He is at the White House. Joe, what are you learning about what we're going to hear?
Well, what we do know is the White House says that the president is going to present an optimistic vision, a bold agenda. We certainly know the president's going to talk a little bit about illegal immigration. We know that because among the guests of his in the gallery tonight, we expect 3 people who are members of families of victims of undocumented immigrants. Now, interesting that President Trump, like President Obama, has been suggesting that messaging is at least part of his problem. This would be a great opportunity for the president to change that messaging problem if he has one, by laying out specifics, which members of Congress say they want to see so much, especially on some of the signature programs Mr. Trump is pushing. But on that issue of messaging, it's also interesting, many times Mr. Trump has in the past, certainly while he's been here at the White House, kind of stepped on his message by making what some would call outrageous statements, often things that can't be backed up or supported with a lot of evidence. A good example of that, perhaps, is his charge on morning TV that President Obama is behind the leaks in the Trump administration. Listen.
Can we talk about President Obama? It turns out his organization seems to be doing a lot of the organizing to some of the protests that a lot of these Republicans are seeing around the country and against you. Right. Do you believe President Obama is behind it? And if he is that a violation of the so-called unsaid President's Code?
No, I think he is behind it. I also think it's politics. That's the way it is. His people are certainly behind it. And some of the leaks possibly come from that group, you know, some of the leaks, which are really very serious leaks because they're very bad in terms of national security. All I can do is speak from the heart, and we have a really terrific...
Okay, so if we deconstruct that just a little bit, on the one hand, it is very difficult to figure out exactly what the president is talking about. When it comes to leaks, we did reach out to the office of former President Obama. Their choice has been simply not to respond. On the other issue of supporters of President Obama being involved in protests and demonstrations and the like, we do know a lot of people who supported President Obama remain opposed to President Trump. Back to you.